In this tutorial, we'll learn how to use the switch node to allow participants to move between two tasks. This can be useful for giving participants the option to review instructions for a task, or seeing which task they prefer to complete. In this example, we want participants to be able to switch from the primary task, a Stroop task, to an instructions task, and then back again. First, let's see what's happening with this experiment. In this simple Stroop task, participants use their keyboard to answer. If they forget the instructions, they can click View Instructions at any point. This brings them to the secondary instructions task. They can then return to the primary Stroop task by clicking Return to Task. In this design, they can do this at any time and as often as they like. Now we've seen what the experiment looks like, let's see how it's made. Click on the Stroop task and select View. On the Trials display, Screen 2 is where we want our View Instructions button. This object has the click response and button components. The response is set to Switch. On the Screen tab, we've added the Switch component and also set the response to Switch. This means whenever a switch response is received by Gorilla, we know to move the participant to a different task. Let's head back to the experiment and check out the instructions task. Here we have one screen that contains a Return to Task button. The response for this object is Switch Back. On the Screen tab, the Switch component also has the response set to Switch Back. On the Experiment Builder, we also need the switch node. This is connected to the Stroop task, which is our primary task, and our instruction task, which is our secondary task. You can set a maximum number of switches and select when a participant can progress. In this case, we're happy for them to move on once they've completed the primary Stroop task. They don't need to have checked the instructions.